The story of how Rome conquered Greece is a fascinating tale woven through centuries of conflict, culture, and ambition. The roots of this complex relationship can be traced back to the early days of both civilizations. Rome, initially a small city-state on the banks of the Tiber River, was steadily growing in power and influence. Meanwhile, Greece was a collection of city-states, each with its own identity, culture, and political system, often at odds with one another. This backdrop of rivalry and ambition set the stage for the eventual Roman conquest of Greece. In the 4th century BCE, Greece was experiencing the aftermath of the Peloponnesian War, a protracted conflict between Athens and Sparta that left many city-states weakened and vulnerable. During this period, the rise of Macedon under King Philip II marked a significant turning point. Philip united the fractious Greek city-states under his rule, creating a formidable power. His son, Alexander the Great, would go on to forge an empire that stretched from Greece to Egypt and into the heart of Persia. Although Alexander's conquest spread Greek culture far and wide, they also set the stage for Rome's eventual rise. After Alexander's untimely death in 323 BCE, his empire fragmented, leading to a power vacuum that would attract the attention of the expanding Romans. By the 3rd century BCE, Rome had established itself as a dominant force in Italy, having conquered the Etruscans and the various tribes of the Italian peninsula. The Romans were not only skilled warriors but also adept diplomats, often forming alliances that would bolster their military campaigns. As the Roman Republic grew, it began to look beyond its borders, eyeing the wealth and culture of the Hellenistic world. The conflicts that arose during this period, particularly the Punic Wars against Carthage, would further shape the Roman approach to Greece. The first significant interaction between Rome and Greece occurred in the context of the Macedonian Wars. After Philip V of Macedon sided with Hannibal during the Second Punic War, Rome saw an opportunity to weaken Macedon and assert its influence in Greece. The First Macedonian War, 214 to 205 BCE, was a relatively inconclusive conflict, but it paved the way for further Roman involvement in Greek affairs. The Romans were learning to navigate the complex web of Greek politics, and their military successes only fueled their ambitions. The real turning point came with the Second Macedonian War, 296 BCE. The Romans, led by the general Titus Quinctius Flamininus, achieved a decisive victory at the Battle of Cynoscephalae in 197 BCE. This battle showcased the effectiveness of the Roman legions and marked a significant shift in power. Following this victory, Flamininus declared the freedom of the Greek city-states, a proclamation that resonated deeply with the Greek populace, who had long suffered under the yoke of Macedonian rule. However, this newfound freedom was a double-edged sword, as it effectively placed Greece under Roman protection, setting the stage for further Roman dominance. In the subsequent decades, the Romans continued to exert influence over Greece, navigating the intricate political landscape of the region. They capitalized on existing rivalries among the Greek city-states, often playing one against the other to maintain control. The Achaean League, a confederation of city-states in the Peloponnese, attempted to assert its independence, leading to the Achaean War, 146 to 145 BCE. The Romans, under the command of Lucius Mummius, crushed the Achaeans at the Battle of Corinth in 146 BCE, leading to the complete destruction of Corinth itself. This brutal display of power sent shockwaves throughout Greece and marked the definitive end of Greek autonomy. With the fall of Corinth, Greece was fully integrated into the Roman Republic. The territory was reorganized into the province of Achaia, and the Roman presence was solidified through the establishment of colonies and military garrisons. The Romans, however, did not merely impose their rule, they also adopted and adapted many aspects of Greek culture. The rich philosophical traditions, art, and literature of Greece profoundly influenced Roman society. The Romans revered Greek culture, viewing it as a pinnacle of civilization, and they sought to incorporate it into their own identity. The conquest of Greece was not merely a military endeavor, it was also a cultural assimilation. Wealthy Romans traveled to Greece to study philosophy, art, and rhetoric, bringing back these influences to Rome. The Hellenistic world had a lasting impact on Roman architecture, literature, and religion. The Romans built grand temples and theaters, emulating Greek styles, and they adopted gods and myths, blending them into their own pantheon. This cultural exchange enriched Roman life and laid the groundwork for the later development of Roman civilization. As the Republic transitioned into the imperial era, the relationship between Rome and Greece continued to evolve. The Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and stability, allowed for the flourishing of trade and cultural exchange. Greek cities became vital centers of commerce and learning within the Roman Empire. The Romans, recognizing the value of Greek education, established schools and institutions that propagated Greek thought and culture throughout the empire. However, the relationship was not without its tensions. As Rome expanded, the complexities of governance and cultural differences sometimes led to friction. The imposition of Roman law and customs was met with resistance from some Greek city-states, which sought to maintain their unique identities. Yet the overall trajectory was one of integration rather than outright suppression. The Romans understood that to maintain control over such a culturally rich and diverse region, they needed to respect and incorporate local customs and traditions. The legacy of Rome's conquest of Greece is profound and far-reaching. The blending of these two great civilizations laid the foundations for Western culture, influencing philosophy, art, politics, and governance for centuries to come. The Romans' ability to adapt and adopt aspects of Greek culture was a testament to their pragmatism and vision. While the military conquest was a significant achievement, it was the cultural synthesis that truly defined the Roman legacy in Greece. As the centuries passed, the influence of Rome would continue to shape the course of history. The fall of the Western Roman Empire in the 5th century CE marked the end of an era, but the cultural and intellectual achievements of both Rome and Greece endured. The Renaissance, centuries later, would see a revival of interest in classical antiquity, drawing heavily from the works and ideas of both civilizations. In the grand tapestry of history, the conquest of Greece by Rome stands as a pivotal chapter, illustrating the complexities of power, culture, and identity. It serves as a reminder that empires are not solely built on military might, but also on the ability to engage with and embrace the cultures they encounter. The legacy of this conquest is not merely one of domination, but also one of enduring influence, shaping the very foundations of Western civilization.